Fit Club, what's going on, guys? We are back for another nutrition guide discussion, and today we're talking about the serving size guide. Okay, so there are a number of ways that you can get by without having to count every calorie on your plate that's going in your mouth. It's very tedious and redundant, and it's nonsense. Why? Because everything is an estimate, okay? Everything is an estimate. Even if you count them calories, you're still estimating. In the front end or the back end, there's going to be some kind of estimation going on. Because why? Calories in, calories out. You know what I'm saying? If you count the calories that go in, you're supposed to count the calories that go out too. And not just the ones that you think you burning during exercise, the ones that's coming out of your booty. All right? Because if it's not coming out and it's just going in, that means your gut is full of shite. And if your gut you're having gut issues and you're not able to expel 10% of the calories that you eat in the food, it's not all going to get consumed or absorbed by the body. 10% is supposed to come out as waste. Okay. So are you counting your 10%? Because if you're not, you're just estimating. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing is an estimate. Sounds silly, but it's true. Okay. Gut health is something that in the fitness community, they don't talk about it enough. Okay, but it's super important. So anyway, serving size guide, it's a different way to estimate. Okay, it's a different way to estimate. You have a hand here, and the hand can help you understand what a serving of a certain kind of food is. Okay, if we're talking about things like seasoning or butter or mayonnaise or oil, the fingertip is about a teaspoon. Okay, a teaspoon is a good serving size for any of those items. Okay, teaspoon of seasoning, teaspoon of mayonnaise, teaspoon of oil. 2 teaspoons is really what you're gonna need to go ahead and oil your pot down if you are frying an egg or whatever. I'm saying, if you like your eggs in oil or butter, 2 teaspoons is really enough. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta go too much more than that. If we talking about something like peanut butter, salad dressing, hard cheese, sour cream, your thumb is like a tablespoon. Okay, so a tablespoon, so we talking about something that is slightly less calorie dense than an oil or a butter or mayonnaise. You're talking about peanut butter, salad dressing, hard cheese, sour cream. A tablespoon of any of those things is going to be a serving size, okay? Or a thumb's print amount is going to be a serving size. So when you look on the back of your item, and you look at the ingredients and you see the nutrition guide on the back of it, it's going to tell you, all right, 1 serving of this is going to give you such and such amount of total fat and calories and protein and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? That serving size could be a tablespoon. It could be a teaspoon. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be more. It just depends. All right. So now a handful, so like trail mix, okay? I'll go in my fridge and I'll go grab out a handful of trail mix, okay? That's my serving size, all right? Let's go look, let's do a real example. All right, I'm back for you guys, all right? This is the trail mix that I like, okay? It's got nuts in there, peanuts, cashews, almonds. It's got some raisins in there, and it's got some cherries in there, and it's got some little M&M pieces. Okay, it says a serving size is 1/4 cup. Okay, see, I got a 1/4 cup serving. All right, so now if we go and we get out 1/4 cup worth of trail mix, okay, 1/4 cup worth of trail mix. That's a handful, okay? This a handful is 1/4 cup, all right? So now I understand that every time I go get a handful of trail mix out of that box, I just took 150 calories. You know what I'm saying? 150 calories in my hand. Calories, if you're counting the calories, that's important, but also look and see everything else. This is also 5 grams of protein. This is also 2 grams of dietary fiber, okay? It's 15 grams of carbohydrate, okay? It's 10 grams of fat, all right? So the serving size guide, once you understand the serving size guide and you get a little bit of consistency to your diet, then you know what it is you're doing without having to count the calories, put the food on the food scale. I got a handful right here. Just about 150 calories, okay? Cool. I would eat that. I really want to, but I'm talking to you guys, so I'm not going to eat it right now. All right. Plus, I haven't eaten any food yet, and I'm probably going to start off. I'm going to break my fast with some fruit. There's some really delicious pears in the fridge. Okay. So the same thing now is going to apply with something else like meat. Okay. Meats, about a palm size. This is my palm. About this much meat is going to be a serving of meat. All right. And that's going to be anywhere from 3 to 6 ounces is going to be 1 serving of meat. Okay. So when I do my chicken steak is really about this palm size amount right here. I call it somewhere between, I would say maybe it's about 4 to 5 ounces. It depends on the piece. Okay. So now if I had 1 serving of meat, I know I had about 30 grams of protein. Okay. And it depends on the meat. The chicken might be a little bit different than the steak. It's going to be somewhere in between 250, maybe 400 calories. Okay. It just depends on the meat. All right, but you look those things up and you understand. I only eat a few different kinds of meat. I eat chicken. I do eat steak. I do eat my chicken steak. I might have the shaved steak sometimes. I'm gonna put that in the cookbook too. Okay. I have ground turkey. I don't really eat ground beef like that, but I have the ground turkey. All right, and so and I have fish. I might have salmon or I might have a white fish. I might do tilapia. I'm going to do that. The tilapia recipe is going to be really good, guys. Okay. But understand a serving of meat is going to be about a palm full. Okay. And so then if I want 2 servings of meat, now I know I'm going to have somewhere between 50 to 60 grams of protein. Okay. So I'm about halfway to where I'm supposed to be for the day, or maybe 2/3 of the way to where I'm supposed to be for the day on my protein intake. And I know, okay, so I had 2 servings of the steak. I probably had somewhere between 600 and 800 calories. Okay. You see how easy it is? You don't really have to go that deep with the calorie counting when you understand servings and proportion your plate properly. All right. And so now when you get down to a fistful, okay, so now that was a handful for the trail mix, but now a fistful is like, it's so much in your hand that you can see exactly what's in my hand. I can't close my hand all the way. That's a fistful. So we talking about things like cereal or soup, raw veggies, fresh fruit. You got a fistful of those things, okay? And that's going to end up, you see, this is 1/4 cup made my handful. But if I had 4 of these now and it was a full cup, now I got a fistful, okay? And so now these are for things that are going to be, not very calorie dense, right? We got the cereal, the soup, the veggies, and the fruit on there, okay? And so now, if I have a fistful or 1 cup of rice or 1 cup of veggies, I know what I'm getting with that. If I have a cup of rice, it's going to be, it depends what I did or what kind of rice or whatever. It's going to be somewhere like 250 calories. You know what I'm saying? If I do the vegetables, a cup or fistful of vegetables, it ain't even going to equal 100 calories, all right? But now if you have 2 servings of that on your plate, that's going to end up being a half to a third of the plate, depends how big the plate is, okay? So now you can portion your plate out properly. I'm going to fill it up halfway vegetables, and the rest I'm going to do like 2 servings of meat, right? Because I don't feel like eating carbs right now, because for lunch I did whatever I had. It was a whole lot of carbs. I'm really full. I just want to make sure that I get my mixed veggies in, and I want to make sure I hit my protein amount for the day. So I'm going to have the veggies and I'm going to have the meat. You know what I'm saying? I'll do 2 servings of this. I'll do 2 servings of that. My plate is full, and you know exactly what you did. You know what I'm saying? If you do the 2 servings of meat and say I'm having steak tonight, that might be, like I said, 600 to 800 calories. Go ahead with that steak. And now with the 2 servings of vegetables, you didn't even hit 200 calories. So overall, you probably going to be somewhere between 750 to 900 calories. And that's a meal. You know what I'm saying? That's a meal. You don't even have to think about it though. All you got to do is proportion the plate properly, and you're going to be fine. Because like I said, at the end of the day, if you establish the dietary staples, you already know what's on the plate. All right. And you don't have to go that deep and count every calorie, especially because once you begin this intermittent fasting, okay, once you begin the intermittent fasting, you're going to sometimes even forget to eat, so that by the end of the day, when it's time to eat and you're like, oh man, my window is closing, I need to eat some food, you're going to be chasing calories. All right. It's not going to be like a restriction for you. You're going to be chasing calories. It's like I said, that plate I just described where it was just meat and veggies, that's 800-900 calories. If you're at 2,000 calorie limit for the day, oh, you got a whole other meal that you could have ate for 1,100 calories. Or maybe you had a small meal and a couple snacks. I'm saying it's going to end up balancing out. All right. So that's the serving size guide. I don't want this one to go too long because it's pretty simple. But you could use your hand to figure out serving sizes and estimate effectively with it. Okay. Estimate effectively once you stabilize your diet and you figure out what your dietary staples are. You know what I'm saying? I know what rice is for me. I know what mixed vegetables is for me in terms of calories. All right. I already know. So it ain't no big deal for me. So I just portion my plate properly. All right. Cool. See you in the next module.